Tell Jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of sing. Went off to college, but college turned out me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Let that fuse and run. Whoa, let that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to sing. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tell Jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Let that fuse and run. Whoa, let that fuse and run. Whoa, let that fuse and run. Whoa, let that fuse and run.
Yo, what is up, 24/7 Buff Fandemonium? It is your boy Swank. It is Tuesday night. It is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that means one thing, all right? It's time for the K-Gun Report. We have a very special guest joining the panel tonight. Our boy, you know him, you love him, the best voice in Buffalo Bills podcasting, Mr. Ryan Thomas from the Thomas Take Sports podcast. We're going to be talking about all the latest and greatest with the Buffalo Bills. We'll probably get into a little bit of free agency, a little bit of draft stuff. We got Spin That Wheel. We got Monday trivia, all sorts of crazy, amazing stuff. You know what? Let's just hit this intro and we'll get right into it. Yo, here we are, and here it is on another beautiful Tuesday evening. What is up, our friends from the K-Gun Report? Right below me, to start off the introductions on the panel, you know him as one half of the Gruesome Twosome, my dude, Jared Reed. And look at how good he looks. Look at the clarity. Wow. What's up, Jerry?
I think we finally got there. I took the tape off that the video camera, so now I'm clear.
Dude, you told on yourself. I wasn't gonna bring it up.
I always put it out on the table. I'm also rocking my favorite hat. Scott put a poll out there today, or picture shows his favorite hat, so I got that one rocking, and I can't wait to rock this one on draft day. Not wearing it yet, but I'm here to talk football with Ryan, Scott, and Swank tonight. Let's do it.
Nice, dude. That was like a wrestling promo. Very cool. Right up top next to me, right here, is our boy, the other half of the Gruesome. There you go. Gruesome Twosome. You know him as Scooter Magooter. What's up, Scott? What do you got?
What's up, Swank, RT, and Jared? What's up, Buff fan base? Bills Mafia, 24/7 Buff Fandemonium, FLX Mafia. Holy cow, we're all over the place, but we are one big
Shout
family.
out City.
We're one big family at the Bills Mafia. Can't wait to talk some Bills football. Some news. Got some news the last couple weeks. I just want to throw this out there real quick. Part of the Buff fan base. I joined Nickel City crew yet last week on Thursday with Rob Crippen. Had a wonderful time with them. I know as a group, the fan base group, we're trying to intermingle and reach each other's shows, but had a blast, and we're going to have him on. It's going to be a good time. Had a good time. Thanks again for that. And let's get talking, boys.
Yeah, hell yeah. We're trying to cross-pollinate, as our boy
That's
over
it.
at Nickel City said. And yeah, you did a good job, man. I caught it. It was good times. You guys and Dump Truck, dude.
Yep.
DT.
Dump Truck. That's the guy right there.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Right diagonal from me. It's like Hollywood Squares or some shit. Right here, down here. You guys, one of our favorites. A dude that has been in our corner and a friend of not only the show, but the three of us personally, ever since we started, was at the very first Rager. We love him. You guys love him. It's our boy, Mr. Ryan Thomas, RT. Tell him what's up.
What is up, Bills Mafia? What is up, 24/7 Buffalo Fandemonium? It's good to be back with you three gentlemen. Good to be back with the three gentlemen. Usually it's just Scooter, Swank. I'm happy to see Jared on the panel
I
today.
know.
So really looking forward to this. Let's get started, man. I'm pumped.
I think what you're referring to is that we do another show in season called Sunday Sessions, which is our pregame show here on the Buff Fan Base Network. And a fun little tidbit about that show, since Jerry was telling on himself earlier, I want to tell another Jerry story. We were trying to branch out before we even joined the fan base and do more shows. So Jared had this idea of doing a pregame show where he would answer questions and talk about inactives and all this stuff. And the very first week, he couldn't do it.
I'm going to tell on myself even more. I had my two boys with me, and then we did go live for about 3 minutes, and I shut it off because they were not listening. So that's how it really went.
So he didn't want any evidence for the CPS case, I guess.
delete. Yeah. So then my
Oh,
boys,
that's great.
Scott and Swank, took over, and then asked you to join Ryan, and it took off. So
Yeah.
things happen for a reason. It's perfect.
Hell yeah, it's been fun.
We're all on a rocket ship, right?
Yep. Jared's the first gas fuel part that falls off.
No, I'm the ice
Jared's
on the side that
floating in
falls
the
off.
ocean. We love you, Jerry.
I know.
If it wasn't for you starting it, we never would have had so much fun doing it. And now it's going into its third season. So
Oh yeah.
craziness.
Wow, 3 years.
I know, right? Nuts.
That's crazy.
Absolutely nuts. All right, let's get to the comments here because you guys know, man, the K-Gun is your show as much as it's our show. And we love the interaction. We love the comments, the questions. Get them flowing in here. If you got anything you want to talk about, put it in the comments, dude, and we'll throw it up there and bounce it off the wall and see what sticks. You know what I'm saying? We got Mr. Paul Rossi talking about OGs from 24/7. Mr. Paul Rossi is one of those guys that was also at that very first Rager. Very few people can say that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Paul says, let's go Buffalo. Missed you all with too many Tuesday night work meetings, just days till the draft. Hell yeah, buddy. We got Cookie. What's up, Josh Cook? Josh Cook also at the very first Rager, supplied the venue for it. Man, this is very topical. Very topical Rager night so far. What's up, Cookie? We got
What's up, Cookie?
Franklin. What's up, Jay? How you doing, brother? Oh, we got Lisa Johns, dude.
It's John.
She's getting me all. She said, hey, Swank, with some hard eyes. What is up? It's
She
probably
likes the long
my
hair.
long
That's
hair,
what it
dude.
is,
The
man.
locks, man. What's up, Johns? How you guys doing? Lisa said, John and I won't be able to join you tonight because we're in North Carolina with family. No worries, Lisa. We love you, and we hope you guys are doing all great. We got Berto, another OG, man. Holy shit, you know? He says, hey, everyone. What's up, Berto?
What's up, Alberto?
We got Uncle
Hey.
James. What's up,
Wow.
Mafia? What's up, Uncle James? We got Doug. Evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hell yeah. Happy Tuesday to you, brother.
Happy Tuesday.
We got Lisa and Mike the Cook. What's up, Lise? Saying, hey, guys. What's up? Mike V. What's up, Mafia? How you doing, Mike V?
Mikey V.
Let's see.
What's up?
He said it's 8 p.m. on a Tuesday night. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? God, I love it when they
Yep.
do the Marv, man. It makes me want to run through a wall, but not right
The
now.
Marvisms.
Yeah, dude. It's beautiful. John's reiterating that they're in North Carolina. We get it. You guys are in North Carolina.
What's it like down there right now?
Yeah, it's got to be beautiful.
Were they traveling down to the pro day, or was it just to see family?
I think it
Gotta
was just to see family.
Okay.
Unfortunately, John's had a loss in his family, so
Oh.
yeah. I think they're down there just
Sorry to hear
celebrating a little life down there.
Mhm.
We got Susie Norton. Hi guys, normally check in from Ohio, but tonight checking in from NC. What's up? How's it going, Susie?
What's up?
I think she's in with that John's crew.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Susie?
Let's see. John's, thank you for all the prayers and condolences for the passing of my mother. We had a nice ceremony and we're able to get together and have a nice time down here in North Carolina. Hell yeah. I bet you there was at least a couple moonshine shots going around.
I was just gonna say
just
I'm gonna have a
about-
glass of moonshine for John's mom tonight. For
Hell
sure.
yeah, man.
A full glass.
Ooh.
A pint glass.
Pint glass.
There you go.
So, I'll have my beard back in probably an hour.
Lisa John says it's the beard, it's not the hair. So hey, I'm trying to get it.
Oh.
Get my attention anywhere I can, obviously, right? Beard and hair. We got Dr. Bruce in the comments. Go Bills. Dr. Bruce McKellar is a content creator for 247buffandemonium.com. If you go check out the blog section on our website, he has a great series called The Injury Report. I will continue to throw it back to that Matt Milano article that he put out. It was very good. Check it out. It's a great time. Susie says the weather is great down in North Carolina. I believe you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Uncle
Tar
Jay
Heel
wants...
State.
What's that?
Tar Heel State.
Tar
NC.
Heel. Tar Heel State.
They might have screwed up my brackets, but
Dude, I haven't even watched. I don't know. I haven't done
I
brackets. in a
haven't
couple
either.
years.
I haven't watched any March Madness.
Nothing.
Yep.
Absolutely nothing. Oh, let's see. We got the beautiful Ellen Lartz. What's up, Ellen? How are you going? How are you doing? Let's go, Bill. She says.
Ooh, apple pie this time.
Yeah,
guys.
John says he's got apple pie this time.
Mhm.
Hell yeah, you better bring a little bit up on September here for the Rage.
Apple
August.
pie moonshine.
Hell yeah,
August
bro.
August
Oh.
31st is the Rager. Yeah. Yep. Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, don't forget that. Mark that in your calendars for all you 433 people watching right now. A, thanks for watching. B, we do a live preseason kickoff party in the Finger Lakes at Reinvention Brewing. The four of us will be there for sure. I'm committing Ryan Thomas to it, even though he didn't say he was coming, but he's gone every year.
I'm committed. I'm invested.
yeah, he requests that day after the last one already. I saw it, and he's
Yeah,
committed.
dude.
He's for sure.
I asked
committed.
Jared. I said, "When's the next one?" And then Scott was like, "August 31st. Mark your calendar."
It probably sounded like this. When is the next one? Oh, next 31st.
The 31st.
Yeah. The Reed boys are going to start sending out save the dates like a wedding or something.
Yep.
Let's see. Mike V, got to be honest, for that rivalry, I'm a Blue Devil with Tar Heels.
Ooh, okay. I respect it.
Sure.
I respect it.
Well, here we go. Next week, Dr. Bruce says he's going to talk about Jones fracture, a common foot injury, and one that may impact a certain draft pick, Kool-Aid.
McKinstry.
That hurt Des Bryant, and it hurt Sammy Watkins big time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got our boy Chris Christian. Hey, my Bills brothers and sisters. What's up, Chris? How are you, brother? Thanks for joining us. Mike V says, damn, that's my sister's birthday. Well, where else would you rather be?
Bring
than
your sister.
right here.
Come on. It's a family function.
Reinvention
Oh,
has
yeah.
amazing beers. We have Retro Taco. They make an amazing taco display. Big shout out to them. They kicked butt last time they did it for us, and they actually wanted to come back. They unfortunately scheduled different last year, but they are back this year.
Yeah.
So we got food, we got booze, we got a Buffalo Bill celebration. I can't imagine having a better birthday party than that, really. So
Hell yeah. I mean, Kathleen Carlson says it's much better than a wedding. LOL. Go Bills.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I would say so.
It's a great time, man. You guys should check it out. I didn't really plan on talking about the Rager a whole lot right here in the first 10 minutes of the show, but goddamn, we're doing some planning. We got some big commitments already. We got Mark Maddox committed to coming this year. Last year, he unfortunately got caught up in the CTE NFL lawsuits and had to go get an. It's crazy, dude. He came out and talked about it, but they can scan him and request him to go get scanned at any time, and they requested him to do it right before he was supposed to fly up here, and he had to go, or else his shit would have been messed up.
He even had tickets lined up to come out. Like we start at 3 to 9. He had tickets to come out. He would have been here at 7 o'clock at night, and he's like, I don't know if that's going to be worth it.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, don't bother. Just do what you have to do and don't rush.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's
what a
doubling
guy.
down. Yeah, man, he's great, dude.
What a guy. Yeah.
We had him on the show a couple weeks ago. It was that was the record-breaking show. We had 2,800 people live right here on the K-Gun. And Mr. Mark Maddox gave away a jersey to actually Dr. Bruce won that raffle, that little wing dinger. So, I mean, since we're talking about that, I suppose we should probably give away something.
Oh, yeah. You got a wheel up there, guys.
I got
anyone that left a comment last week. Can I go ahead and tell them what it's all about?
No, I was talking. Yeah, go ahead.
Beer bet, Scott. You'll swank a beer.
Yes.
There you go. Well, anyways, Swank came up with amazing. Our Finger Lakes Mafia has been building. We're trying to get recognition to the Finger Lakes fans out this way, along with the Bills Mafia, and bringing it all together. And tie-dye is a big thing in upstate in the Finger Lakes area. So Swank came up with a sweet little tie-dye idea. What this Fandemonium Wheel Destiny is, the winner's going to win is a choice from our store at 247buffandemonium.com of anything of the tie-dye. So you win, check out our store, message us which one you want, what size, and your address. We'll buy it for you, ship it out to you, and it's all yours. If you don't win, feel free to go visit the store.
Yeah, go check out the store. I think if you write K-Gun Report, you get 5% off, save you some shipping or tax or something like that. You guys ready to do this?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Here you go. If you left a comment last week, your name's on the wheel. We're spinning. Oh, shoot. Man, it was the last 2 weeks, it's been right on the edge. And my boy Franklin won. Yay, Franklin. Congratulations, brother. You won yourself an FLX Mafia tie-dye shirt. And, you're in the comment right now, bro. So send, just private message me your address or we'll hook up because Emma was, his girlfriend was actually at a show here this last weekend. See each other enough. So we'll get you all straightened away, brother.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations for sure.
Hell
yeah, he says.
Yeah. Woohoo! Big up. You guys can go over to the 247buffandemonium.com/shop and check those out if you're interested in them. I haven't said this yet, but we are part of the Buff Fan Base Network. So please go check out every show that they have on there. I think there's this one with this guy, something about sports takes and podcasting and whatever. RT, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your show, which is also on the network?
Wednesdays at 8 in the East. What is it, 7 in the West or 6 in the West? Something like that. I don't know. But it's 8 in the East. So figure it out if you're on the West Coast, whatever the time difference is there. Did have a lot of people commenting from other parts of the country, which I thought was pretty cool. Sweet. On the last episode this past Wednesday. Of course, yours truly, Ryan Thomas, at Ryan Thomas Take on X, formerly known as Twitter, thanks to Elon. Of course, I've had some really awesome talking points. I mentioned quite a few things that I've noticed in differences of last offseason and years prior with Bean and McDermott that I think some Bills fans would really like to hear. So check that out. That's on the fan base stuff. It's on all my social media, stuff. And this Wednesday, I'm looking to get a guest on tomorrow night that I'm really excited about. It's a guy that I haven't chatted with Bills football wise in quite some time. So it'll be very interesting to see. Hopefully he comes through for me. Says all systems go so far, but we know in the scheduling world of podcasting, things can get kind of dicey. So we'll see. But either way, a great show will be in store for tomorrow night. Buffalo Fan Base, Thomas Take Sports Podcast. Check it out.
Hell yeah. Chris Christian has a great question. He says, how many different shows do they have on there, Swank, over on the Buff Fan Base Network? And let's see. I don't know if between the four of us, if we can name them all or not.
I know so. Right now, Believe in Bills. It's Mookie. Injustice.
Yep.
The Nickel City Crew.
Yep.
With Rob Crippen. We've got our show, Kagan Report.
And
We've
Sunday
got
Sessions as a
Mistake
double
Sports
up.
podcast.
Mhm.
Yep. But
We
I
got
think right now those are the only 4 going
Tea Time with Robin.
at this point. Yeah, Tea Time with Robin. Let's Talk 716. I know Robbie and Robin potentially are going to have a show coming up here very shortly.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's pretty close to it. If we miss somebody, I apologize. But I think that's about it. Also, there's the audio platform version of all those too that are out. So, go follow on all the socials. They've been very beautiful to us. It's been a very great thing. Literally,
Awesome time.
Literally every time Ryan Thomas is on, we talk about it before we go live about what a great choice it's been, and we're stoked to be a part of it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
So I just went to YouTube Buffalo fan base, and they have the Ed King Kilgore show is on there.
Oh, yep.
Like you said, Nickel City. The
Shout
Wyoming
out to
Buffalo-
Ed.
There you go.
Hey, man.
Overdue Bills podcast that'll start showing up again. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
We got Dean coming on shortly here too, don't we?
Well, he's coming on the week before the draft, and Dean is the 24 or Buff
Dean
fan
Kindig,
base's-
right?
Yep. He puts in a lot of work towards his
A
breakdown
lot.
of the draft players, and it's not just the first
This
5
dude
rounds.
he's got Microsoft Excel as his most common app. I know it. I know it for a fact. I respect it. Anyone that's got the spreadsheets with all the measurables and stuff, he's legit.
Every time we talk about him, all I picture is that meme of Zach Galifianakis from The Hangover when he's counting cards and all the numbers are floating
Where all
around
the
him.
numbers are floating.
Yeah, when he breaks down that Excel, that's pretty sweet. You can look at it and see how many visits, how many recalls, and it's a wonderful app to see. And it really shows you. It's a good spreadsheet to see. It really shows you who the Bills are interested in. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and what I like about it is a lot of people have their mock drafts and they have their top 50 list, and it's based off all 32 NFL teams. He breaks things down based off of Buffalo Bills needs and all that stuff. You're not going to see a
Team
3-4.
fits,
Yeah, you're not going
right?
to see a 3-4 outside linebacker on his top linebacker list. It's going to be a 4-3 guy or a 4-3-3 guy that fits the mold of Buffalo, and he does a great job at figuring all that stuff out.
Yeah, he blew my mind last year when he was on. It was very easy to follow. He's very analytical, and I don't know. It's just out of all those guys, they can get very like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. Like as far as for me, like I'm like, what the hell's going on? But he was I don't know. He's just easy to follow. So definitely check him out and follow him. Chris Christian says, this one's easy because it sends me a reminder on Tuesdays. LOL. Yeah, bro. We try to set it up.
That's what that subscription gets you, right?
You get subscribed to our channels, and it'll let you know all about it. I'll give you a hack if you subscribe to our channel, RT's channel, and the Fanbase's channel. You'll never miss a show at all.
Ever.
Yeah. So
No,
I had a guy.
You might as well subscribe to the Endless Mountain Dialects channel too. While you're
Yeah, why not, man? If you like some outlaw country, open it up for Dylan Wheeler, national touring artist from Tennessee on Friday.
I had a guy that messaged me
Nice.
the other day. He was probably, I know he's followed my stuff for the last few years, but he thanked me for putting stuff on audio because he has a 2-hour drive to work and he listens to the podcast while he drives. It's like, that's pretty cool. You can just listen to one 45-minute, another 45-minute, and your drive's over,
Absolutely.
Save
dude.
one for the drive there, save one for the drive home.
In the spring and summer, like I'm on a lawnmower a lot for work. And
Yeah.
I just pop them in. I catch up on everybody. Do it like that, and it's great. Sometimes here's a trick too. If you like listening to the audio, man, we're still working on the crossover for this show to go to the audio platforms. But I'll just pop on either the YouTube feed or the Facebook feed and just listen to it. Like you can do that too. So it's a good time. Lots of options. Great day to be alive. Really great day.
100%.
Guys, we didn't get a chance to do this last week, and I felt really bad. But you guys know, man, especially like you guys that have been here for a while, when we have ex players on, or we have that kind of guest that we don't get to talk to very often, sometimes the show just takes on a life of its own. So we kind of go off script a little bit and let it be, because I don't know if you caught last week, Ryan, but Brad,
I did.
Yeah. So Brad Lamb talking about coaching up his son and doing all that stuff and giving insight on that. That was just so fascinating, so crazy.
Really cool.
It was
really cool.
Like
My
inside.
respect for him just went up even more,
Yeah.
hearing stuff like that.
Absolutely, dude. It's like kind of
Yeah.
that inside baseball stuff that we're lucky enough, for whatever reason, people feel comfortable and they let it go, and I never want to stop that kind of flow of cool stuff that you're not going to hear anywhere else. So we didn't get to this. I want to sincerely apologize to anybody that was following along online, but mostly to my buddy Jerry, who worked very hard on his segment. And it's trivia night, isn't it? Trivia night.
It is trivia night. We can do a little trivia.
Why don't you tell them all about what's going on here, Jerry?
So in past years during off season, we have to try to keep the schedule busy so we can produce something for the Fandemonium Bills Mafia to keep interested every day of the week. And the trivia on Mondays has been something we've been doing for the last 2 or 3 years. So I just started it last week. The answer of that one was Marshawn Lynch. And this week's Monday trivia, Monday night it goes out, let you guys answer, and then we come back and tell you what the answers are. And I'm going to read them to you guys and see if you guys can throw them out of the top of your heads. Okay, ready?
Ready.
I have to read them because I have them right here. All right. This player, the Bills selected me in the 5th round, 134th overall of the 2006 NFL Draft. I ranked 5th in Bills history in both tackles and sacks when I retired after playing in my 6th Pro Bowl of my career.
I know it.
Okay, so is it Chris Kelsey, Paul Posnusny, Kyle Williams, or Aaron Schobel? All 4 are great Buffalo Bills players.
Big 95, Kyle Williams.
There you go. Kyle Williams is the answer. So if you guys
There you go.
answered and you were interested and you're watching tonight what the answer was, the answer is Mr. Kyle Williams.
Straight out of LSU.
There you go. That same year, Dante Whitner and John McCargo were taken in the 1st round. Ashton Yabuti, I love that name, was taken in the 3rd.
Ohio State.
Cole Simpson, a D-back that I thought had a lot of potential. Kyle Williams, Brad Butler, Keith Ellison, Terrence Pennington, and Aaron Merce.
Brad Butler, he was like an all-pro guard that retired very young.
Yeah,
what I remember.
Oh yeah,
He was a Pro Bowler, and then he just said, you know what, I'm going to get into helping my community and right off into the sunset. He was in his 20s when he retired. Yeah.
So Kyle Williams has a special place in all us Bills Mafia's hearts. He was here during the drought. Near the end of his career, he never made the playoffs until the Miami Dolphins game when he scored that touchdown. And later on that night, they found out that they're going to the playoffs when Cincinnati Bengals won that game. And we're all going to have that deeply ingrained in our brain of him hugging his children or his son, after they did that. And I love doing the trivia about players that not necessarily are going to be going to the Hall of Fame, that everyone's going to, all around the league's going to remember. But Buffalo Bills Mafia will always remember because of what they meant to the team when they're here. And Kyle Williams is one of those guys that we're always going to remember. Possible Wall of Famer. His stats were crazy. He was a staple of this defense that has always been good. Staple of this defense for the Buffalo Bills during those drought years. And then he made the playoffs and it was so amazing.
I mean, here's a question for you guys. Is there any doubt in any of your minds that he's like not going to make the wall?
Oh, he's making the wall for sure.
100%.
Yeah,
right? Like
definite. He's got it.
I could see like they're only going to wait like that little bit of time before they actually.
I think he's Wall of Famer. I think Eric Moulds should be on the Wall of Fame.
Of course. Yeah.
There's quite a few guys that should be a part of that for sure.
We've had this conversation on the show a couple of times, but man, there's a handful of those dudes. There's heroes, like you're saying, like a Kyle Williams. There was like the mayor of Buffalo every year during those drought years, that really like gave you something to root for, gave you like had that attitude, like I don't know, Fred Jackson.
Schobel's another one. He was mentioned. Yeah. He's right up there too.
Yep.
He was great.
But yeah, good stuff, man. Interesting. Awesome job.
Tune in next Monday evening. I'll have another one for you guys.
Hell yeah. That means follow us on all of our social medias to figure out what the trivia question is. And
Trivia.
then tune into the show so you can find out the answer.
The one last week was tricky. He mentioned being drafted, and then he said my first touchdown pass was to Robert Royale. So the first thing you think is quarterback, but the answer was Marshawn Lynch. I thought that was a good little trickster move by Jared with the first one.
I'll throw one of those in there.
I was at that game. That's why I remember.
Oh, really?
I remember that. Yeah, I was at that game with my cousin Doug. Yeah,
Jerry, you slippery little devil, you.
Beast mode, Marshawn Lynch.
Franklin wanted to know, to kick back just a quick second. Brad Lamb's son, he played North Carolina. He's playing in North Carolina, right?
Charlotte. I believe it's Charlotte University or something like that. Yeah, he's out that way. Yeah. Xander, I think is his name.
Xander Lamb.
Yep.
Xander Lamb. Yep. And Brad says he's doing a pretty good job earning his stripes. He's doing well on special teams, and he believes he'll be top 5, top 6 of the roster, making the team. So
yeah,
best of luck to him.
He said he didn't know if that was dad ranking, but top 5 for sure. Let's see. We got the best RT dude. I don't know if you get this guy popping up a little bit. Scott knows him. Nate Nacho, dude. That is this guy's handle. It's my favorite handle that I've ever come across in 5 seasons of doing
Nate Nacho Libre.
Nate Nacho, bro. It's such a great handle. He says, "What up, fellas? Super focused on the draft. What would you do? Number 1, wide receiver at 28/D line at 60 scenario. Ooh. Number 2, D line at 28, wide receiver at 60 scenario." He's got a lot of these. Do you guys want to run through these?
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
All right.
Let it rip.
I'm just gonna. I'm gonna like be the master of ceremonies and just read these off because I have no idea what I would do. As far as like specific players, as far as position, I'll weigh in on that. Jerry, I don't know where you're at with this, but that's what I'm going to do is just position. So scenario number 1, and please play along in the comments and don't forget, like, follow, subscribe, share, do all that crap. Number 1, wide receiver at 28, D line at 60. Scooter.
Either one works for me. I'm going to keep it simple. There's a lot of wide receivers in this draft, a lot. And I think there's a handful I think have number 1 round caliber, and there's a lot that have number 2 round caliber. So if one of those top 6 wide receivers is still available at number 1, yes, get them. I think the defensive line, I like Devondre Sweat, but he's someone that's a Tech 1 defensive tackle that is surprisingly falling in the 2nd and 3rd round. But with the recent pickups that the Bills have done in free agency, it almost looks like the Tech 1 spot is taken care of. We don't have Ed Oliver's backup yet. So if any of those top 2 or 3 Tech 3 defensive tackles are available, and I'll throw some names out here for you, it would be a Jerzon Newton, or Byron Murphy. Any of those 2, if they drop right now, they're ranked 8th and 13th overall. If any of those guys drop to Buffalo, I would not be surprised at all if Bean were to bump up and get Ed Oliver, rotational guy. So I like both those scenarios, but right now it's tough. I honestly see him trading back, but that's a different story. We'll get to that question later.
Yeah, that was the first scenario, was wide receiver at 28, D line at 60. Scenario number 2 is D line at 28, wide receiver at 60. Scenario number 3, trade up in the 1st, which is where you're going. Scenario number 4, trade back to 36, up to 44, hypothetical, but some point value. That's 28, 60. RT, where are you standing on all this, man?
I stand somewhere in between A and B, between them either staying at 28 and taking a wide receiver. I'm not sold on them taking a defensive lineman in the 2nd round as much as I would have been, 2-3 weeks ago. I think that there is a little bit of a discrepancy in the guys that are rated 1st round D-line talent to the 2nd. There are some guys that are, in that crop of picks in the 2nd round where they might have to move up in the 2nd round to get one of them. I wouldn't be shocked if they went wide receiver in the 1st round, offensive lineman in the 2nd round, as they went tight end in the 1st round last year, offensive lineman in the 2nd round with Osiris Torrance. The only reason why I say that is just because I think that there's a lot of really good offensive linemen in their range of where they're picking in the 2nd round to where they wouldn't really have to trade up. so they'd still be able to hold on to their picks in the fourth rounds and kind of just stay with where they're at. If they make a big move and trade up for a wide receiver in the first round, then obviously those picks in those middle rounds wouldn't be there. Those would be part of the picks in a package that would go towards them getting a trade up wide receiver. But this wide receiver class is one of the deepest I've seen in a really long time. And the last time there was a receiver class this deep, the Bills traded up and got one. And that was actually the last time they drafted a receiver in the first round in Sammy Watkins. That was 10 years ago, guys. It was 10 years ago. So for me, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that don't want to fall into the, pigeonhole of drafting a receiver in the first round, but I think it's long overdue. And I think it's the perfect draft class to actually go about that plan and to add a player at that position. So that's my take.
No,
and there's wide receivers in the first round. The last 5 years have basically been you can't miss players.
Right.
So there have been a lot of first round wide receivers drafted, and most of them are successful, except for Quentin Johnson, who was injured for the Chargers this past year. But yeah, you can't miss right now in the first round of wide receivers.
who I also picked in my fantasy league. My
The guy who got hurt.
Horrible fantasy.
Don't write those guys. And it's even he wasn't good his rookie year, but even his talent level is like can't write him off in year two. Like he's got the talent. It just wasn't really a good rookie year, especially in comparison to some of these other guys. But to me, I think the Sammy Watkins 2014 class, in comparison to where they were at then compared to now, Brandon Beane's not going to overextend himself to get a wide receiver. He's gonna try to find the 2 or 3 that he really likes that are in range of where they're picking. If they have to move up, 8 to 9 picks to get that guy, then he'll do that. Make no bones about it. He's done it. He's traded up quite a lot more than what people realize. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of talent with where they're picking and at that position in particular that would add another weapon to what they already have.
I like it. Jerry, what's your take, man? What do you want him
So,
to do?
like what Ryan said, I would imagine that Brandon Beane is going to try to trade up a little bit to get the receiver he wants. If that's out of the scope of things, I could see them trading back. But what I'm hoping to see is trade up, get a wide receiver, and then in the 60th pick, they might trade up and get either Nubin. I think they're going to get Nubin to get safety, or Cooper Beebe, the center. I refer to him because last week when Brad Lamb was on, he really was on the fact that he thinks that the Buffalo Bills should get who's the other center they have right now? Clapp.
Clapp. You got
Brad Lamb.
McGovern switching over to.
Yeah. Brad said they should focus on a guy who's specifically in that center position. And Cooper Beebe, I think, is one of those guys who can fill in and do that. So if I was to be a guessing man to see what's going on, with what I would hope for this draft is Beane trades up to get a receiver, and they get either Nubin safety or Beebe center in the second round.
I like it.
But I think wide receiver is a hot take. Yeah, needs to happen.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's the flavor of the week, right? And it's also one of those things. I guess, like, when's the last time that the Bills had an inclination, like everybody knew what they were going to do in the first round, or everybody had like a very strong inclination of what they were going to do in the first round? Like the first pick, like to me, the one I think of is Josh Allen.
That's the only one. That's right? The only one. It really is.
They're going to
get
a quarterback.
6 or 7 years.
They need to go get a quarterback, and that's what they did. So for me, I think right now it feels like that. It feels like Beane's been making all these like really safe, simmering draft picks and free agency moves, and you got Stephon Diggs for Josh Allen, and you did all that. These big splashes. You go out and you get a Von Miller, but obviously that hasn't turned out exactly the way you want it, right? I don't know, man. I see him doing it. I see him putting it all in and trying to make a big swing and hit on a really good wide receiver in this first round. So I think for me, man, for Nate's scenario, I'm going with the trade up. I don't want to see him sell the farm, but if you're looking at how many draft picks we have and look at how Beane is willing to give up the next year's draft picks if he knows a guy is the guy for him, a la Josh Allen, or a la Stephon Diggs or whatever it is. If there's a sure thing in his brain, I think he has no problem throwing his junk on the table and letting you read the tea leaves. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I see. I just feel it. I got no basis for this. I'm not in his pocket or his ear or anything, but I just think it's almost time. It's like Mount St. Helens, dude. I think it's about to blow. It's about to blow.
And two, you got to look at the draft. The draft is an opportunity to make your team better for the present and the future.
Yeah.
That's what separates the contenders to the champions and the pretenders to contenders. That's what makes that difference. And we're contenders. There's just a little bit of a space that they have to fulfill to get to be champions. And I mean, we'll talk about this, of course, but I've seen a lot of Twitter polls and I think Scott put one out there too. Does the Curtis Samuel signing change whether they should go out and draft a wide receiver? I think it actually adds to the fact that they should draft a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't mean that Curtis Samuel's not a great addition. I think it just goes to show you that Brandon Beane recognizes, hey, the more weapons that Josh Allen has, the merrier that this is going to be come Christmas time in Buffalo,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, we have a receiver number 2 that we need, right? Now Curtis Samuel comes in. Now it's like, okay, we got that. Now WR number 2 is definitely what we need, because if we get that now, it's just going to complete the whole party.
And
So,
Khalil
Chris, like you
Shakir's
said,
the best wide receiver 4 in the NFL. If that,
Yeah.
if that
No,
happens.
I totally
absolutely.
get it. Now that there's pressure to get that number 2 wide receiver, because we have Curtis Samuel and Shakir, because
Mhm.
that number 2 receiver will solidify probably the best wide receiver 4 in the whole NFL.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. And then the tight ends. I mean,
Mhm.
who's to say that those guys can't do it?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think you got to think longevity wise too, right?
Mhm.
We're already in a bit of cap trouble. What they need to do is start investing in these wide receivers on rookie contracts and get some of these guys, get the Shakirs. You got Shakir, you got Kincaid, you got Diggs with a big contract, you got Samuel with probably the best contract of his career so far. In the higher level, you got Josh, you're paying him off. He's obviously going to take deals and do what's best for the team and blah, blah, blah. But like, you got to start getting some of these young guys in here on cheap contracts and starting to sort them out, because
Mhm.
the longevity of things needs to be solidified. So I can see it.
Sure.
It's definitely the first 2 rounds for me. Absolutely. There's a wide receiver off the board. Chris Christian asks, how many wide receivers do we think will be gone at 28th realistically? So if we stayed where we are, how many wide receivers do you think are gone in the first round before us? I'll go opposite. Jerry, where you go?
The first round of good ones will be gone. That's for sure. They were talking about that in WGR 550 this morning. There's going to be 2 runs for wide receiver, and there's their top 3 or top 4 that are, that are out there scouted, and those will be gone. And if they're gone, they're saying that Buffalo should back up and trade back, because another wave of receivers will come in the second round. So I'm thinking that's why I want Brandon Beane. I think he's going to move up. I think he's going to jump more in 3 or 4 spots, what he's used to doing. We used to see him doing. And I think he's actually going to go get one of those top 4 wide receivers. So if they stay at 28, I think that first tier of wide receiver talent's gone. If they trade up, which I think Beane will do, we'll be fine.
Great. Hey guys, if you're new to the show, I want you to realize that you just experienced a classic Jerry moment where I asked him a very specific question about a number and he danced around it without giving us one. So Jerry,
4 receiver, the top 4 receivers will be gone at 28.
all right. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. RT, what do you think, buddy?
I think potentially 5 could be gone. Marvin Harrison Jr. Got to throw the junior in there because it matters.
Yeah,
Marvin
absolutely.
Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, Roma Dunze, those 3 specifically are shoe-in top, arguably 10 picks.
Mhm.
Those are locks to be picked at the very least in the top 12. And then beyond that, if there's a team, and there's always a team that falls in love with a scouting combine of epic proportions, which to me, I really don't think I think it's proven that it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Some team could fall in love with Xavier Worthy. He could go in the top 15, top 20. Then the guy that played alongside him, Adonai Mitchell, he could go, 20 to 25. Brian Thomas Jr. could go 25 to 28. I'm not saying that that's, how I'd rank them, but just in terms of how teams think and, what can change between now and, April, 25th, a lot can change in terms of how these teams evaluate these players. And for all we know, for the last 11 months, they've had Marvin Harrison going in the top 5. Malik Neighbors might go in the top 5 with the combine that he just turned in. So I think 4 or 5 could easily be gone by the time Buffalo picks if they were to stay at 28.
What do you think, Scoop?
I'm with RT. I'm saying 5 to 7. I've seen mocks where there's up to 7 teams reaching later in the rounds for the Keon Coleman's of the world, and even the Troy Franklins. If those two fall in, then that'll be 7 people in the first round. And it's a very fun game to watch because, as Nate Nacho brought up in one of the scenarios, and like Jared said, if Harrison, Neighbors, and Adunze are gone, just like we saw last year with the receivers starting to go, and you may see a little bit of a panic and let's bump up to get the guy we actually want, where Bill's got Kincaid. Kincaid arguably was the best 5 receivers in the draft in the first round last year. So to see a Brian Thomas still there and a Adonai Mitchell, you jump all over that. But if these receivers go quick, the top 15, if those top 3 are gone in the top 15, and like Jared said, if that second wave of wide receivers starting to start happening around 20 again, you may see the bump up because of a little bit of a panic. These 40 times are for real. I'm with RT. I watched the film. I watch how these guys create separation rather than just using their speed. But some teams, like the Raiders and all those, there's a few more teams out there that just see that 4-3 mark and they can't get their head off of it. So you kind of hope that happens. That these teams start jumping out, because then more positions open up for you later on in the draft. But 5 to 7 I see going in the first round. If the top 5 are still available for Buffalo, you grab one of those guys. I like the Brian Thomas Jr. pickup.
I agree, man. I think we got, let's see, Nate Nacho asking, does that mean Brian Thomas Jr. for trade up in the first for you, Swank? Appreciate you guys fleshing out my question. Keep up the good work. Go Bills. Thanks so much for the question, dude. And it was a good one, a deep one, and we like to sink our teeth into it. Absolutely, man. Like, that's my guy. I think if they're going to do it and take a swing and get it all, man. And he's the dude to do it for me. I mean, Harrison Jr., that's cool. There's some pedigree, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I think Brian Thomas Jr. is where I'm going.
He's projected to go 27th. So, like, if Bill's sitting there at 28, they'll definitely, if he's the only one left, if Bean's thinking what you're thinking, Swank, you're jumping up to get him wherever he's at.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. I've skipped out on some comments here because we had some good conversation going on. We got Paulette Brown in the comments. The amazing Paulette Brown. How's it going? Let's see. Ellen Lartz was wondering where Jerry Rice's son is going to go in the draft. Any guesses?
4th, 5th round.
I'm going to say 4th or 5th round. Don't be shocked. The 49ers take a flyer on him. Don't be shocked. Just that'll be like the easiest, cheesiest storyline to predict. But he won't be wearing number 80. That I do know.
Mm-hmm.
That's confirmed
for sure.
I started reading the book, a Michael Jordan book today with Sullivan and Everett, and one of the big things that Michael Jordan was credited for is he wasn't the best talent growing up in high school and stuff like that, but his work ethic was beyond the best in the league. And that's what Jerry Rice is. Jerry Rice's first year in the NFL, he dropped a lot of passes. He struggled, but his work ethic was beyond anybody else's. And that's what led him to his Hall of Fame career and his success. So if his son is anything like him, it'd be foolish if you passed up on him if you had the opportunity later in the rounds to pick him up. Because if he's anything like his dad, he'll prove you wrong.
So tough because he's played very well, but that's really tough shoes to fill. You're talking about the GOAT arguably.
Yeah, he won't
of
be like
all
his dad.
positions, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, that's of all positions, you know, not even quarterbacks, but just in
Yeah.
general, goat upon goats.
But you
Listen,
talk
status.
about you talk about pedigree. If you're
Yeah.
gonna take a
Right.
pedigree from somebody,
Why
you want
not?
to take the work
Why
ethic
not?
is gonna take you a lot further than
Yeah.
other stuff. So
If he was raised right, which I'm sure he was, and listened to his dad, then
Yeah.
he should be okay.
it should be fine.
I'm gonna be my own receiver, Dad. All right.
I want to be my own NFL legend,
I
Dad.
learned it from you.
If he's running the hills with his dad, then he's got a good shot.
Yep.
Yeah. We got Kevin Kenya. What is up, brother? Howdy, boys.
Yeah.
Go Bills. How you doing, brother?
He's playing euchre tonight, so thanks for joining us.
How do you know that?
We had a chat. He joined a new company, life insurance company.
Yeah.
That he
wow.
gave me a call. So hit him up if you're interested in a new life insurance policy. But we talked a little bit, and he tries to make the shows, but Tuesday nights are his euchre nights.
Gotcha. Let's see.
You should get a logo
Yeah,
of his
man.
business. Bloop.
Hey, man. I mean, we can talk sponsorship. Go ahead, Kevin.
Hey,
What's up?
Kevin.
Jerry, just get at Jerry at Jared 24/7 Buff Pandemonium on Twitter. Let's see here, boys. We got the draft coming up. What else do we have coming up associated with the draft? 4-hour marathon K-Gun report draft special show. We will have phone calls from all of you. We'll have all the picks. Scott and Jerry and I will be here at Casa Day and Swank live. We'll have guests popping in. We're going to be doing some giveaways, all sorts of crazy stuff. So, Scooter, what do you think? What's the date on that?
That is April 25th, Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm not exactly sure what time the draft starts, but we'll be on about a half an hour before it does. And like Swank says, we'll be covering all 32 picks, the trade ups, the trade backs, the shocking picks. Yeah, you guys will be we'll get more details out there about the phone calls and all that stuff. And y'all can't call in pick 28, just so you know. It's just gonna
space it out.
But nope, it's gonna be a good
That's
time.
when you put the phones on do not disturb.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're looking to do
Yeah,
like little
that's-
3 to 5 minute segments. You call in, you get your 3 to 5 minutes, and you can hang out with us and get your 2 cents in there. So we want as many people as we can calling in, but we need some sort of
Structure.
But it's a good
structure to
time.
it.
We always have a couple drinks. A couple, I mean, we have a good share. We eat pizza and wings. We enjoy the full draft. You guys were watching as you watch. We're trying to guess these picks coming in. We might even make a little bit of a game out of it. But yeah, Buff Fan Base Justice is actually gonna offer up something for a nice little giveaway, which is gonna be sweet for this show, for the draft show. So again,
Hell yeah.
same concept. You leave a comment, you'll be entered for a chance to win.
Yeah. We'll be giving away a couple t-shirts and stuff like that too. So if you're interested, come hang out. It'll be like a celebrity who's who of Buff fan base podcasters. What was I going to see? I saw
Who's
something
who?
here. Oh, Paulette, why is the prices of the tickets going up because of the new stadium? Anybody got an economics class for Paulette here?
I guess I could just throw out a short take on this. Basically,
Done.
any team, yeah, basically done. No, basically any team that opens up a new stadium in the NFL, you have personal seat licenses, PSLs. They're very expensive. So with the massive amount of season ticket holders that the stadium behind me has, what is it, out of like 73,000, like 57,000 are season ticket holders or something like that. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but the season ticket holders right now, they're getting letters in the mail. Anyone that I know is basically saying, okay, so if you want to renew these in 2026, which is the first year that the new stadium reopens, you'll have to purchase a PSL. Those are a lot of money. That's essentially guaranteeing that you're going to get your seat. And then there's the cost of the games as well. And of course, that's going to go up because the stadium is going to be state of the art, especially in comparison to anything that we've ever had before, getting with the times and things like that. So I'm not a fan of it. You guys know my sentiments. I wish we would have gotten a dome. I know I'm kind of in the minority here with that. I know that I like the cold games too, but I wish we would have gotten a dome just for the economics of the area to be able to host
Mhm.
more events, different events, potentially a Super Bowl. That would have been really cool. But as well, what bothers me more about it is knowing that some season ticket holders won't be able to renew their season tickets because the price is going up so much in comparison to what we've been accustomed to these last 20, 25 years, especially. As the NFL's grown, the Bill season tickets have remained at the bottom as far as cost per ticket. So it's only a matter of time that this was going to come up. It's almost like, death taxes and Buffalo Bills getting a new stadium, forcing fans to pay more money. It's just the way it is. So,
Right. I have
Yeah.
one question though for you. The PSL
Sure.
that you're talking about, the private license or whatever it's called,
Mhm.
is that one-time purchase for 20 years? Because I heard it was like a 20-year guarantee for
It
your
is.
tickets. So it's
Yeah,
a
it's a
one-time purchase,
Sure. Yes,
and
it
then
is.
you pay for your season tickets
And
from
then
there
you
on
pay
out. So the
Right.
first year is going to be expensive, but then afterwards it'll be
Well, yeah, it's one lump sum. Like I have
Yeah.
a guy that, I know really well. He's a lawyer in this area, and they sent him a letter in the mail. It was almost $250,000 for him to renew his season ticket. $250,000.
Wow.
Six figures.
Wow.
So, yeah, and
Do you know
they're
how much he was
50
paying before?
I mean, in terms of kind of being great, and that's the thing, you're grandfathered in. There wasn't really necessarily like a true PSL.
Mhm.
So I know it was a lot less than that.
Right.
I know
But
that it was
but that's for 20 years, right?
right. But then he's
Okay.
got to pay, kind of, it's not like one price. It's that, and then there's
Season tickets.
there's season tickets, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and I mean, you keep them in your family. Obviously, we know. I know you guys have met a bunch of people that are season ticket holders, and it's like a birthright that's
Yeah.
handed down from generation to generation. So some of those, passing of the torch moments that some families thought they'd have, they might not, and that's sad. That's frustrating. But I hope that they work to work it out. I think that enough uproar, enough people speak out, they can change it. So make it a little bit more economically available to people.
We got
Mm.
some of the 24/7 BF fam weighing in here. Kevin says you can spread out the PSL fee, so that would be nice. I guess if you go into the season knowing that you can spread it out over 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Jay says 30 years it's good for. I talked to
30,
my
okay.
rep. I won't get into the center to pick my seats until next year. The suite season ticket holders are in now.
There's a list. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a list that they're, and that's what they let him know, hey, you're going to be on kind of a waiting list, and the suites are getting picked out. The suites are going to be like state of the art. I mean, the suites are going to be really, really nice. But
Would you say the suites are going to be sweet?
Sweet, yeah, that would
The
be a good word.
sweetest sweets around.
Sweet is sweet. But I mean, in terms of like,
Well, you get
who
a
we-
couple
who-
thousand
who-
people paying $250,000. Of course, they're going to be good.
right. But who we are, that's not
Yeah.
not really who we are. You know
No.
what I mean? That we're not Dallas. We're not,
Mhm.
we're
Las
not
Vegas.
LA. We're Buffalo. We don't care about that.
Yeah.
I can speak for a lot of fans because I had people say, I don't care about my suite or anything like that. I just want my seat,
Yeah.
So we'll see. I hope it all works out. I
Yeah.
really do.
Paul Rossi
I wonder
says,
what happens if you spend that money and you pay it off, and all of a sudden you're no longer a season ticket holder. Does the next person that takes over also have to put down a PCL?
PSL.
30 years from now.
It would like if they pay it and then 30 years from now they decide not to do
No,
it.
I'm just saying that they pay it, and then 20 years from now they decide they don't want to buy the tickets anymore. Does the next person that take over those tickets now have to drop a $250 fee?
Maybe.
Transfer
it to another person. At that, I think they're obviously when something's new, they're gonna charge more. So 20 years from now, if they're charging the same price they did when the place first opened, then we really got a problem. You know what I mean? That would be wrong. You know what I mean? I know season tickets have gone up a little bit for the Sabres, and that's even crazy because you guys know, the Sabres haven't won in 12, 13 years. So how are they going up when the product has not been up to par? It's hard to rationalize.
Franklin says if you don't buy tickets one of the 30 years, you lose your tickets. So it doesn't matter
Right.
if you pay it or not.
But then the next person has to pay
Yes.
to get them.
Yeah, license.
Yep.
Yeah. And unfortunately, guys, another thing, Paulette, is our Buffalo Bills are winning. So that's a huge
Mhm.
ingredient to this recipe of why the prices are where they're at, is because there's a winning product being put in the field, and it's a good product, and they know they have a good quarterback for the next 30 years. 10 anyway. But yeah, when you're in the moment and there's big decisions to make and money's involved, when you're winning right now, that's when it counts. So that's probably why the price is a little bit higher. And we're all forgetting that this new stadium is going to blow 99% out of the fans' minds away of what's being out there. And I know, Ryan, you said that's not Buffalo. We'll go out there and we'll sit in the snow for a damn ticket. And I totally 100% agree with that and understand that. But it's an NFL product, and this team's winning.
Today's NFL is different than it was 30, 45 years ago when they built the stadium behind me. It's a lot different.
And when they have a winning product out there, they have to
capitalize.
Have a dollar.
It is a business at the end of the day, you know.
Paul Rossi says it's a joke when the state / us taxpayers paid $850 million for the stadium last year. I think that's a relevant point. I mean, I think that we can feel slighted about that slightly, but I want to back everybody up because definitely us as Bills fans tend to live in the moment. Like a lot of us tend to like live in the moment and think that the good times are going to last forever. I end almost every single show trying to remind people to stay centered and grounded and realize where they are. I want everybody to go back for the last 5 to 10 years and think about where your mindset was on whether you wanted a new stadium or not. Because these are the things that come along with getting a new stadium. Nobody thought about that back in the day. It was, our stadium's old and look at that cool stadium over there. It wasn't, but we got to pay like ridiculous money for seats. And I mean, I think there's a balance between both of those viewpoints, but like really
at the end of the day, we want the team here.
Yes,
right?
We wanted it here, and we want everybody happy. We want Josh Allen to live until he's 800 years old and not to decline until he's 799. All of us, you know, we all want the same things, but there are certain things that come along with like building an enormous $850 million taxpayer funded stadium where they're gonna charge you to be there, and everybody's gonna want to get in. Like I honestly don't expect to see a game for like the first 5 seasons after that stadium's open. Like it's sad.
To your point, Swank. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, it's sad. It's just sad.
It is. It is.
Go ahead.
And to your point, you know, like 10 years ago when Ralph Wilson passed, you know, there was real fear as to what was going to happen with the team. Terry Pagula, for all of the fans that throw fault, you know, I'm reading a lot of it. I know a guy that's a writer for my local paper. He said something to the tune of Terry Pagula owes the fans an explanation. Terry Pagula doesn't owe fans anything. No. He doesn't owe anything. He's a businessman who invested in 2 franchises in one city. And this isn't Terry doesn't owe the fans anything because he saved the team, but Terry bought the teams to save the teams, put people in place to run the teams. Those are the people that we want to hear from. Yeah. I don't need to hear about Terry Pagula's draft plans because Terry Pagula is not drafting the team. Brandon Beane is. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think that there's a little bit of a misconception with the last 10 years. I mean, I'm happy he bought the teams and kept them here. There's clauses that say that they can't be moved even once he passes away. So we're talking generation upon generation that'll get the chance to enjoy what we've enjoyed throughout our entire lives. And that's really important. Can't put a price on that.
No. If the Bills left Buffalo, and that was a real fear for how many years? Like so many years. Like like way too long. I genuinely had that conversation with myself. Like I don't think I could never be a fan of another team. Like never. Right. Like I could be a fan of football, but I would not enjoy it anywhere near as much as I do rooting for the Bills. I grew up with the Bills. I want the Bills. I don't know how Rams fans do it. I don't know how the Browns fans, even though I hate the Browns, how Browns fans did it when the whole Baltimore debacle happened. I don't know.
Ravens and Colts fans.
Yeah, all of that, man. I don't know how they did it, because it's like, it's got to feel like so unsettling and unnerving that like you loved this thing for so long in your city and then it's gone. And now you're supposed to just like pick some random team. Like,
Mhm.
I know the practice squad players for the Bills. Like, you know, I'm not starting over, dude. I've invested way too much in this. Like, get out of here.
I look forward to dinosaur barbecue out in Rochester when I drive to the training camp every
Hell
year.
yeah, dude.
That's a thing. You know?
Getting yourself a plate, a Ryan Thomas plate.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids, if you're new to the show, guess what?
Here we go, folks. We're in overtime.
That's right. We're in overtime, and that means that we've went past our hour because we're unprofessional. Luckily, Justice and the fan base put up with our nonsense. I would like to give you guys a big shout out because we just went over 1,000 viewers live, so thank you so much for that. We are part of the Buff Fan Base Network. Go follow, love, subscribe, all of that. As part of that, sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com. Give them all of your money. Del Reed and the gang got amazing things going on. And you can get fresh threads, look great, and be helping a family in Western New York all at the same time. It's amazing. So go do that. Boys, my wife's not feeling super good. So I think we're going to end this somewhat on time right now. But I want to run around here. I want to thank everybody for viewing and tuning in. But let's get our final thoughts and end everybody's evening here. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Sweet. All right, Jerry boy, give us your final thought.
Well, obviously, Swank, we want your wife to feel better, so we're sending our quick healing thoughts your way.
Thanks.
This is our 4th episode. We're having a great time. It's not stopping. The feeling of Buffalo Bills Mafia, good feeling, is ramping up again. You know, we have a good team coming up again this year, and I can't wait to see what this draft brings. And guys, we drafted Dalton Kincaid last year, and no one thought that was going to happen. So you can see all these mock drafts and who people are saying they're going to bring in, but nothing is certain until you see it that Thursday night. And it could be someone totally out of left field, Kyrie Elam even, you know. So just be grateful for our Buffalo Bills success these past couple of years and the continuation of that. And whatever draft pick number 1 they bring in, number 2, number 3, number 4, root for them because they're on our team. And you never know what gem is going to come out. You never know what gold's going to come out of that. So let's be optimistic about this whole thing. And I can't wait to come back. Ryan, thanks for joining us tonight. Obviously, we're going to see you often again throughout this whole year. But next Tuesday is just us 3 guys to talk Bills football. So come on back and let's have that conversation. And congratulations to the winner of the tie-dye. Just, you know, DM us and we'll get that stuff to you. Till next week, guys. Go Bills.
Till next week. Indeed, go Bills. RT, man, thanks so much for joining us, brother. It's always so fun to have you on. Look forward to many more visits from you throughout the season. Why don't you hit us up with your final thought?
Final thought, of course, always a pleasure to be on the K-Gun Report as well. Looking forward to just more interaction with you guys, social media, you know, as always. Anytime I get the chance to chat with you guys on a show or off of a show, it's always a treat for me. Inching closer and closer to NFL Draft Day. And, of course, really enjoyed this offseason for the Buffalo Bills. I was really happy with the Curtis Samuel addition. I feel like he hasn't even reached his full potential yet. He's never played with a quarterback like Josh Allen before. That's safe to say. So really excited for him. Very excited they were able to, you know, maintain some of the guys, keep some of the guys on the roster, re-sign Taylor Rapp, Taquan Jones, and a few others. I think this has been a really good offseason, despite the shock that was, you know, Jordan Poyer leaving, Trey White leaving, all those guys. I feel like Brandon Beane's done a really good job kind of helping the team land on its feet heading into draft week in the next 3 weeks here. And Really looking forward to popping on that show with you guys. As you mentioned, that draft marathon show, be sure to pop on and spit some fire takes. I know this draft is going to be crazy, as is every draft. One team will draft somebody that we'd be like dying laughing. We would have never thought that team would have drafted that player. And hopefully that team's not the Bills. I don't think it will be.
No. No, I got faith.
Jets, Raiders. I heard the Jets cough. Could be either one.
Yep.
Patriots.
Easily.
Thanks,
Yep.
brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
As always. Scooter Magoo, what do you got, brother?
I punched some numbers real quick when they're talking about the $850 million that the taxpayers had to pay. There's $10.7 million taxpayers in New York State. So that's a whopping $80 per taxpayer for this new stadium. I'll bite the bullet. I'll pay for that for a new stadium. With all that being said, the shows that are coming up. Yeah, we mentioned them before. It's the three of us next week. We have Dean Kindig, Buff Fan Base's a draft guru that puts in the hard work, guys. We can't wait to have him on the show. It was an awesome show last year. A lot of insight to what he has produced for the Buff Fan Base. So we have him coming in 2 weeks. 3 weeks is the draft show. We won't be on that Tuesday. We'll be on that Thursday for the long haul. And then the week after that, we have Rob Crippen from the Nickel City Crew coming in for the post-draft reaction show.
I got Rob.
Yep, it'll be a fun week next week with the three of us. We will be doing our own mock draft. We will go through all the Bills draft picks with the help of the Bills Mafia. You guys, the fans, your voice is going to be heard. We want you joining in and telling us who you think. We'll have the screen up of people available, and it's a fun thing to do. It really is. It's fun to play GM a little bit with a little bit of an explanation, or just pulling from your back pocket. It's just fun to do. We have fun doing it, and like Swank said earlier, we do this for you guys. You guys have a voice on our show, and we like to hear it loud and clear. So welcome. If you're new, thank you for staying with us. If you're not, and let's continue this journey as a Bills Mafia. Let's go Bills.
Go Bills.
Wow.
Nice job, man. The three of you guys really did a really nice job with that, man. I don't have a whole lot to say. Just good night, guys. Go Bills. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Like that was what was that?
That was trigger.
So
that was not
lame,
Swank.
so
I'm like,
lame, dude.
Is this the same show? Is this the same laptop? What am I doing
I
here?
was about to message him saying, man, you all right?
I know the wife's not feeling well, but we need a little bit more than that.
Give us a little more, dude. Like, come on. What are you doing? Guys, we love what we do here, man. I was just telling Scott before we went on the air, like, for me, specifically, it feels like this is like the best start to a season that we've ever had. And I know the numbers have been crazy. If you've been with us the last 4 weeks, these are the best numbers, up over 1,000 viewers right now, that we've ever had in the 5 seasons of doing the K-Gun Report. And it's very surreal. It's very humbling. It really just fuels the fire. I mean, the show, I promise you, would be the same whether there was 2 people watching or 1,067 people watching, because we are passionate about Buffalo Bills football. We're passionate about joking around and talking stats and talking games and talking draft and talking free agency. We're passionate about drinking beer and hanging out. It's just like who we are. So we would still do it. We did it when there was only 3 people watching. And even though it was a little more awkward back then, it still was the same show that you're seeing right now. So to have you guys all here supporting us, chiming in, throwing the questions, the comments, the jokes, it just means the world to us. And, here we are, April 2nd. There's nothing going on in the NFL right now, except for a little bit of draft buzz where it feels like the draft's too far away. Free agency's already hit, and you're so far away from playing games. And we have all of you guys here interested in what the hell's going on and just wanting something. And we're the same way. We just want something to talk about as far as it goes with Bills football. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this. And you can continue to be a part of this every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here, wherever the hell you're watching it. YouTube's, Twits, X, Facebook's, all those spots. Don't forget, go follow Buff Fanbase. Don't forget, go check out 247buffandemonium.com. Don't forget to go follow Ryan Thomas and the Thomas Takes Sports podcast because,
Tomorrow night at 8.
hell yeah, right there. Tomorrow night at 8. You don't even have to change your schedule, dude. Just use the same alarm you used for this show and then go watch this show. It's amazing.
That's what I'll be doing, in the season. Sunday sessions, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Hey, little
Pop
this,
it on
little
every now and
that.
then. Yeah.
Dude,
Why not?
I want Ryan Thomas live stream Italian kitchen. That's what I want. A little bit of this, a
Oh
little bit of
man,
that.
that's coming. That
Little
is
pizza
coming
pie.
for sure.
Hell
I got a
yeah.
lot of ideas. Don't give me too many more. Make a Tony Soprano sub. Oh, it's coming.
Gabagool. Hey.
Gabagool.
I've been running through The Sopranos again lately, and it's so good. It's absolutely so good.
Never gets old.
No, never at all. Guys, we love the hell out of you. Thank you so much for letting us do this. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go! Did you hear the acoustics in this place? It's crazy, this new house. Bills!
I say, whoa, light that fuse and run. I say, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Light that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to sing. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tell Jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that in upstate, boy, it's a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I say, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to sing. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tell Jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that in upstate, boy, it's a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and